Like Charlie's Angels.
There we go.
Sluggy's Angels. Pew,
Yeah.
pew, pew. Welcome back to the Aligned Path. I'm the Great North Witch, and today we're setting up my new pressure washer. This is the Grandfalls Pressure Washer Pro from Giraffe Tools, and it's quite heavy, so I had to call in some backup to lift it up. This is a wall-mounted unit. On the back of the unit, you'll find this little plate. I'm just removing the twist tie that's holding it on. And I'm going to use this little plate as the guide to drill my holes and mount the machine. Conveniently, I have this perfect spot right between my water tap and my electrical outlet outside. So I've already put the plate against the wall and used a permanent marker to mark the grout, not the brick, because the grout is way easier to drill through. And I just made sure to use the level that is included to make sure that everything is perfectly level before I drill my holes. I quickly realized that I was going to need a stronger tool for the job, so I called in my husband to bring my impact drill. Thank goodness for my father, who gave me these impact drills when we moved out. So handy. I've used these things so many times. Get yourself an impact drill. It makes the job so much easier. Once your holes are drilled to the proper size, you just use the anchors that come with the kit, and I press them in first with my hand. Then I just used my hammer to gently tap them in. You don't want them to break or bend. Just take your time to make sure they're in flush. Then I set my first bolt to just hold the plate on the wall, and I don't put it in all the way. Hand thread all 4 bolts into place, just a little bit. Use the level that's included with your machine to make sure that everything is straight, and then you can go ahead and tighten your bolts. Go across, so I started top right, bottom left, bottom right, and then finally top left. Triple check that everything is still level, and now we're ready to hang our machine. I was able to deadlift this myself, but it does recommend on the box that you're doing this with a friend. Team lift. Setting the machine on the plate is super easy. It just slides into place. You just have to make sure you have both sides hooked in and gently set it down. Now it's time to hook up all my attachments. First, I'm attaching the spray wand to the trigger gun. Next, I attach the pressure hose to the trigger gun. Then, the lead-in hose gets attached to your water tap and to the machine. One end of this hose has a filter, so that end is going to the machine. The end without the filter is going to the tap. We want to make sure that everything is very secure, nice and hand tight, but we're not using any tools like pipe wrenches because that could damage the connections. Next, while the machine is still unplugged, we're turning on the water tap and just allowing the water to move through the machine, releasing the safety trigger. I love that this machine has a safety trigger. And we're just giving it a gentle squeeze to make sure some water is moving through the machine. Double check that your machine is off before you plug it into the wall. Now that it's plugged in, we can turn it on. Yep, I'm literally that excited. The Grandfalls Pressure Washer is rated from 78 to 80 decibels, so it's technically quieter than a hairdryer. So I'm not disturbing the entire neighborhood. But I could pressure wash the entire neighborhood because this has a 100-foot retractable hose. Like, I could go wash my friend's car from my house. The moment I have been waiting for. You know, I'm always out here doing DIYs, and sometimes, I swear, my tombstone is going to read, she tried not to make a mess, and in the process, made the most mess. So I'm pumped to be able to get this paint off of my sidewalk. It has been there since I built my bookshelf 2 years ago, at least. Is this algae? I don't even know what this dark stuff on the bricks is, but it's gone. I can't even tell you how many times I've swept this sidewalk since we've moved in here, but nothing compares. This is just night and day. You know I love my broom, but it just cannot compete. This takes the cake. Look at this. It just gets in the cracks and crevices so well. It's just so satisfying to watch the dirt just wash away. I can finally make my own pressure washing videos. Or, the guys that mow the lawn and then use the whippersnipper to make the edges really sharp. It's just fabulous. I gave the boardwalk a quick wash down. These are just old reclaimed boards. But check it out. This is the before, and this is the after. Gorgeous! This outdoor coffee bar was one of the first projects I did when we moved in here. And it's just a raw pine board. And last summer, it started to leak pine sap. I had no idea how I was ever going to get the pine sap off. One neighbor actually suggested that he could bring his flamethrower over and we could burn it off, but that did not seem safe to me. So I'm so glad this pressure washer has these super strong nozzles so I can literally peel the sap right off the table. So this is what it looked like before, full of pine bubbles, and this is it afterward. The Grandfalls machine comes with 4 different pressure nozzles, so I'm swapping up from the 15 to the 40 PSI to clean my car. And all of your nozzles are conveniently stored on the spray wand, so all of your attachments are with you while you're working. Next, I headed out to the parking lot to give my car a little wash. There was so much sand built up in the wheel well, from all the winter, and they sand the roads here and they salt the roads here. This 40-degree nozzle is really gentle on the paint of the car as well, so I'm not worried that I'm damaging the paint of my car at all. And you can do this without having to use any chemicals, so I'm not worried about the soap or any other chemical fallout running off and affecting the environment around us. We switched back to a higher pressure nozzle to take care of the green bin. This is actually like scratches on the bin, but I'm so excited to be able to clean the inside of the bin come summertime when it is just nasty. I'm sure I'm going to find 1,000 more things to pressure wash this summer, but for now, a little tug on the hose, it self-retracts. There's a spot to store the wand conveniently right with the machine. Oh my God. I think I'm in love. I'm going to pressure wash everything.